All right, guys,
Yeah.
what's up? We're
What's
the we're the foreign swaggers. So,
Yeah, Johnny's gonna freestyle.
I lived in America for 4 years.
I'm saying I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together like we fade. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your baby.
Hey guys, it's Bree here. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, hey, welcome back. So I did not intend to post another video today, but I was minding my own business, went on Twitter, and I saw that NCT Hollywood was trending in music. So me being an N citizen, I'm like, what is this? This has to be some joke. If you're an N citizen, you guys know that we can be a little crazy and chaotic sometimes. So I was like, this must be like an April Fool's joke, but a very late one. Well, no, that's not the case. NCT Hollywood is real, it is a thing, and it's happening. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all that we know about NCT Hollywood so far, and then I'm going to get into what this could mean for the future of NCT, as well as the continuance of the globalization of K-pop in the West. But before we get into the video, you guys know what to do if you haven't already. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Now let's get into the video. So according to an article by The Hollywood Reporter, MGM Worldwide Television Group is partnering with SM Entertainment to develop a competition series or survival show to scout young American men between the ages of 13 to 25 to form a US-based K-pop group. The new boy group will be called NCT Hollywood, and it will be the latest subunit of NCT. The contestants will be flown to Seoul for K-pop bootcamp training at SM, and in each episode, they will compete in dance, vocal, and style tests, and they'll be judged and mentored by Suman Lee as well as NCT's members. So if you're not familiar with MGM Television Group, I'm pretty sure you've seen their logo in movies and TV shows before. It's basically the roaring lion logo. So MGM is probably the biggest or one of the biggest production and distribution studios in the United States. It was actually founded in 1956. So basically it's a big deal that SM is partnering with MGM Television to do this survival show. In a statement, Lee Suman, the founder of SM, said, "I look forward to making an unconventional audition show that all music fans around the world can enjoy. I hope the audience enjoys watching the journey of new stars being born in Hollywood that will be promoted as NCT Hollywood in the global market in the future." So when I read Lee Suman's statement, it was very clear to me that his intention is to continue to expand SM or K-pop into the West. We've actually seen SM try to tap into the global market, specifically the Western market before. SM previously made a business venture with Capitol Records, and that's how the group Super M was created. The whole point of Super M was to assemble K-pop idols from a number of SM's groups, EXO, NCT, and SHINee, and to promote the group in the West. So although Super M is a K-pop group, SM's main intention was to market Super M to the West and therefore tap into the global market. So to me, this is obviously what SM is trying to do with NCT Hollywood. So when I was on Twitter, I saw a lot of N-citizens and other K-pop fans saying things like, who asked for this? Why is SM creating this survival show? A lot of people seemed kind of confused and they felt like this came out of nowhere. But I do want to point out that this really shouldn't be surprising, especially given NCT's concept. NCT stands for Neoculture Technology, and the whole concept of the group is that they're a group of infinite members who are constantly shifting into different subunits, and they're from all around the world. That's why you have idols like Ten, who's from Thailand, Mark is Canadian, Johnny is Asian American, Lucas is Chinese. You basically have members of NCT that are from tons of different countries, not just Korea. So the whole concept of NCT was to create a constantly expanding group with a bunch of different subunits and members with different nationalities. So it does make sense that SM would eventually want to make a US-based subunit for NCT. I remember even a few months ago, I think SM did a press conference and they were talking about expanding NCT. They even mentioned countries countries like Australia and the entire continent of Africa, to be honest with you, which was really funny. And we got a lot of crazy NCT Africa memes, and that's still an NCT meme to this day that a lot of N-citizens laugh about. But yeah, the whole concept of NCT was to create a constantly expanding group with different subunits that would represent different parts of the world. That's why we currently have 23 members in NCT, and that's going to continue. Now, as far as the survival show part, that shouldn't really be shocking either. We know that music survival shows are very popular in Korea. You have shows like Island, Kingdom, Produce 101, Produce 48. There are a lot of survival shows and survival shows that are actually used to put together a group. Look at ENHYPEN, they were formed from the big hit survival show Island. So the idea of there being a K-pop survival show or a K-pop survival show that's backed by a big K-pop company, that's not something that foreign or something that's weird or out of the ordinary. Now, to go back to Super M, I do think that the timing of this is very interesting, especially given the fact that Super M did well, but probably not as well as SM wanted them to do as far as tapping into the Western market. And now we have Baekhyun and Taemin, who are both going into the military. And because of that, it's pretty certain that Super M won't be doing any promotions or activities. Now we have the NCT Hollywood Survival Show, which I'm assuming is coming soon. So I think the timing of this is very interesting as well. Another thing I want to touch on is, like I said, there were kind of mixed reactions from N-citizens and other K-pop fans, and a lot of people were saying, okay, we don't want a bunch of Jacob Sartoriuses running around or Justin Biebers, and I saw a lot of funny memes basically comparing what NCT Hollywood would look like versus NCT. So that is an interesting point. I'm assuming that because this is a K-pop group, even though it's going to be US based, I'm assuming that the contestants will have to at least learn how to speak Korean, especially given that they're going to be flown out to Seoul to actually do the competition and be trained and be mentored by SM and members of NCT. I do wonder though, will the contestants only be Asian Americans? Will the contestants only be Korean-speaking Americans? I wonder what the contestants will look like. We already know that the ages will be between 13 and 25, but in the article from The Hollywood Reporter and a few other articles I read, there's really no information about whether or not the contestants will be Asian American or not. So we're basically just gonna have to wait and see what happens with that. So what could this mean for NCT's future in the globalization of K-pop? So like I mentioned before, this survival show will be a partnership between SM Entertainment and MGM Television. So I'm guessing because of that, this survival show will probably be broadcasted on American television as well as Korean television. Korean K-pop fans pretty much already know who NCT is. They're from one of the biggest, if not the biggest, K-pop companies in South Korea. But as we know, there are still a lot of Americans that don't know about NCT, especially Americans that aren't into K-pop. So the fact that we could have a running survival show being broadcasted on television, this could give NCT huge exposure in the United States. I think that a lot of people in the United States have kind of heard of K-pop at this point. They might just know BTS and that's it if they're not into K-pop. I'm sure that most Americans that don't know about K-pop much but might only know about BTS, they probably haven't really heard NCT's name unless they're really into K-pop like I mentioned before. So this could be a great way for NCT to expand their fan base in the United States. And this could also be a great way for K-pop to expand in the United States in general. Like I said, having a TV show that's showing contestants compete to debut in NCT's US-based subunit is a big deal. I mean, when have we ever had a TV show in the United States that was focused on K-pop at all, let alone a survival show where we're actually seeing contestants compete? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, even though we don't really know what this TV show will look like, what the production will be like, how the show will be marketed to American television, etc., I guess what I'm saying is, if this TV show does well, it could be really, really good for NCT and for the expansion of K-pop in the West. So yeah, that's pretty much all that we know about NCT Hollywood so far. It did surprise me, even though I am aware of NCT's concept. It just came out of nowhere. I'm really looking forward to hearing more information about NCT Hollywood. I'm sure SM will be releasing a statement in the near future telling us a little bit more of what we should expect from NCT Hollywood. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to go on Twitter and check out some of these NCT Hollywood memes. NCTzens are hysterical. I was literally cracking up at some of these NCT memes. Like, I don't know how you guys come up with this stuff. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the video. Comment below, what do you think of NCT Hollywood? Are you excited? Are you concerned about what this could mean for NCT? What this could mean for the expansion of K-pop in the West? Do you think that this is a good thing for NCT, a good thing for K-pop? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts in your comments. And if I get more substantial information about this, I'll make sure to come back and make another video. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Like you, like you, like you, like you, like you, like you, like you.